Hi, I'm so glad you finally make it today. I know you live up north, and then we've been trying to set up a schedule for you to come today. Beverly, everyone, this is my podcast guest, and I met Beverly in Montana. Literally just only less than 2 months, right?
Yeah. But
we have such a great connection when we were there. We realized we have a lot of common friends. That's number one. Number two, we both are founder. And Beverly, this is like your third company, Travel Nanny, which we're going to talk a lot about because everybody know what my business is, creating baby, making baby. And Travel Nanny is something that I think my clients would love to know, especially as a single mom. Travel Nanny sounds very tempting to me. We need to find out more about that. So Beverly, tell us, what is the Travel Nanny? Because I think a lot of people wanted to know, what is Travel Nanny? How can we jump on this?
Yay.
Like, we need your help.
Thank you. Thank you, Evie, for inviting me to be on your podcast. It is true. It took a while for us to connect.
Yeah.
And to all her fans, I've admired Evie from afar. Even when I met you in person, I actually was like, oh my God, that's her. That's Evie. So I was like, hi. I follow you. I'm a big fan. And I'm really glad I got to meet you in person.
I just want everybody to know. So another common interest that me and you both have is we both are matcha lover.
Yes.
Right? So every morning, whenever you have a good matcha, you would send me a photo of it or tell me where you got your matcha from. And then so now, like whenever we see matcha, we think of each other.
Yes.
And literally before you come, I was like, do you want me to pick a boba? Because we're both Chinese, we like those kind of stuff. And you said, no, matcha or matcha. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to make her the best matcha that I can come up with. Yes. I don't know how to cook, but I know how to make my drink.
It was fantastic. It was so good I can't even talk. It was 10 out of 10. Better than Starbucks. It was not sweet at all. It was perfect.
And she took some pictures.
I took some pictures, which I'll post on my Instagram. But getting back to Evie, she's smart, she's brilliant, single mom. Like, I feel like we just connected right away, right? Like, I really wanted to be here for this, so I flew down here for this.
Yes.
And just want to give a shout out to Rosalina, because she connected us. And Travel Nanny, our goal is to make families travel easier.
Oh.
That is just number one, right? For my son, he's 2.5, and the first time to the 6th time we went on a vacation, I always brought my mom, right? She was like my everything. I said, Mom, we're going to Korea. Mom, we're going to Japan. Mom, we're going to Hong Kong. Mom, we're going to Singapore. So she would always come. And I'm sorry, but that costs a lot of money. It gets expensive with another ticket, another airfare. So airfare, hotel, accommodations, right?
Yeah.
And so we went to Thailand, December 2023, and I said, Mom, we're going to Thailand. And she said, sorry, I can't go on this trip. And I was like, no, you have to come with me, right?
Yeah.
And she says, sorry, I'm busy, I can't come. And so I thought to myself, and I said to her, well, Mom, who's going to help me be the mom? Because you're my mom.
Yeah.
And so my mom said, you figure it out. You're the mom. I said, no, I need to enjoy my vacation. I need to go to my spas. I need to go a 4-hour spa every day. I want to eat like really well so you can take care of my son. She said, that's not a vacation for me. I was like, oh, no.
She has a point.
Yes, no, right?
And you know what? I was going to say, when you were saying how your mom would go with you to Japan, Singapore, I was going to say, you have a really nice mom. I don't know if it's an Asian mom or what. Of like, my mom would never do any of that.
Oh, yeah. She's great. She's, semi-retired. So anyway, when she said, we'll figure it out. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to figure it out. We're smart businesswomen. I'm going to figure out someone else to help me take care of my son while I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what the Travel Nanny is. So number one, we help families travel easier. Number two, we empower women in a local country to make more money.
Oh, I like that.
So, Evie, it was so important for me to help women, right, in a country like Thailand. So, for example, I posted online, I said, my son and I are going to be in Thailand, Bangkok for 4 days, and I need help, right, from 8 to 5. So all these women commented on my post and said, I'm interested. And I was like, whoa, am I paying too much? I'm Chinese. And so, and then I found this one woman, Parity. I love her, and I connected with her and her boss to make sure she's legit. We did a video call. I vetted her out. And she sounded amazing. So she came to my hotel every morning at 8 o'clock, and she stayed with me till 10 o'clock p.m. So for like 12 hours, my husband and I, we got to enjoy our vacation because we had a nanny. So baby never lost sight because yes, this is still a stranger, but either I went to the massage and I had 5-hour break. And so baby and nanny played in the jumpy house. You know, they did all this fun stuff. And so we always had a parent watching them, but at least we could, you know, relax a little, right?
You know what? Even just that elevate a lot of your time, right? And then because it's like, as you know, watching what everybody know. I mean, if you're a mom, it's so much work. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting
because you constantly have to focus on them.
Yes.
Right? So then, if you have somebody else, at least you can make the phone call.
Yes.
You can be there.
Well, in Thailand, I want to get a 5-hour massage for $30.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get that facial because us moms, we deserve a break.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, right? And then, of course, right, you know, partners, husbands, they can deserve a break too, so they can go to a massage.
Yeah,
and
or
so
else it's kind of like, you watch the kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. I think we're like, wait, where are you going? That's not fair.
Yeah.
I want to go play golf.
So you're right.
Yeah.
So after like 4 days, like I didn't change one single diaper. I didn't have to feed him. Nanny did everything. She showed up on time every day, and my son just loved her. So it was, and that's how Travel Nanny started.
Yeah.
So I came back. In December, and then had a call with my lawyer in January, and I told him I had this amazing idea. Let's start a company that helps empower women, right? Help them make U.S. dollars, and then also help families travel easier.
Oh my God!
So those are the 2 points.
Nanny would be so happy.
Yes,
the U.S. dollars.
Oh, she's so happy. So I started in Japan, I started in Taiwan and Hawaii.
I can't wait for Taiwan.
Yes, Taiwan. So let me tell you about my Taiwan nanny, Rose. She's so special.
Okay.
She's so dear to my heart. We met, you know. We ran ads. We met amazing nannies. We had 500 nannies sign up on our platform right away. It was like, whoa, all these women that needs jobs. So we vet them out. We check their background. We call them. We interview them on Google Meet. And then we check their employers, just like what I did with my Thailand nanny.
Yeah.
And Sweet Rose, we met Sweet Rose. She worked for us for 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks. She made $200 a day. Evie, she makes $700 a month at her cleaning job. So she literally met me in person when I was in Taiwan. She like gave me the biggest hug. And she said, Bev, please, I'm so happy that you came up with this company because you're helping me so much. I send the money to her family in the Philippines, and she made what she would do in a cleaning job in 3.5 days. And I said, of course, right?
Yeah.
U.S. families will pay for an amazing nanny, $25 an hour all day. Like that's what we pay here in maybe a little more here in SoCal, but you know, for us to get that like peace of mind when we're traveling, a nanny to work with, you know, to come along with you, feed the baby and watch the baby. Oh, it's so relaxing.
And then you save the money on the air travel already.
Yeah.
You know? And then also the hotel time.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, because then you know how to get another room.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to buy the ticket.
Yeah.
And it can be expensive.
Yes, all that adds up usually like $4,000 to $10,000, right? Depending on what class of service you fly. So the local nanny, right? We're just doing so much for them and helping the economy, helping them find jobs, and then they send the money back to wherever they want.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been great.
So the first one to Japan. What made you decide to pick Japan as your first country?
For our first launch country, right? Great question. You know, we picked Japan because it's safe. And Japan in January, 2 months ago, had almost 4 million visitors a month. 4 million. I don't have 4 million nannies. I don't even have 400,000 nannies yet. But I'm sure, you know, a percentage of that, I'm sure, is families, right? 4 million visitors.
For ski, a great place to ski.
Yes, absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
food's amazing.
The skincare's amazing.
Yeah.
The culture's amazing.
I took my son there, and I'm allergic to cat.
Me too.
But he loved cat.
Yeah.
So then...
You went to the cat cafe?
So we want to go cat cafe because that's where they're originally from.
Yeah.
I mean, Hawaii, this couple, but they're all from Japan.
Yeah.
So we went to a couple of famous cat cafe, and I swear I was dying.
Oh,
I was
no.
miserable. But this is what you do as a mom, right?
Yeah.
So you do it for the kids.
Yeah. So one of the packages that we have at Travel Nanny is a cat cafe package. It comes with a nanny. The nanny will pick your son up.
Why did you tell me? I should have met you before.
Yeah.
I would be happy.
Yeah.
Having a nanny, take my son.
Yeah.
I would be sitting right outside the cafe.
Of course,
and then I would just drink my little coffee.
Your matcha. Yeah,
I'm
of course.
I'm good.
So we have a package
Oh my God.
where it covers the nanny admission, the baby's admission. You can either come with or don't come with, right? We'll pick you up at the hotel at 9 o'clock. We'll take the kid to 2 animal cafes and have lunch with them and then come back to you at like 3 p.m. at the hotel.
Okay, I'm using yours
Yeah.
this time when
Yeah.
I'm going back to Japan.
Are you going to
I'm
Japan?
using your agency for sure.
Thank
Oh my
you.
God.
Thank
Wait till
you.
I tell
Yeah.
Evan, he's going to be so happy.
Yeah.
He's like, yes. But he loves it. And then also, that's
Yeah.
great. So that's the package you have in Japan.
Yeah.
So besides you get a nanny to come over, and you also have package where the nanny can take your child to whatever, right? Is that, what else do you take them? Is besides cat cafe?
We have a couple packages. So there's a Disneyland package, right? So
Oh my God, why don't I make it earlier?
Yeah, if you don't want to go to Disneyland, we all love Disneyland, right? But if you just want that 8-hour break, you don't. Okay.
I took my son to Disneyland in Japan because I hate Disneyland because it was so much work, the long line and stuff. So for me to get out of the Disney, the mom duty, I said, fine, I would take you to Disneyland anywhere but U.S.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking
Japan.
He wouldn't know where other Disneyland is.
Uh-huh.
And then the chance of going that other country for Disneyland is much less than going to Anaheim in LA, right? In California.
Right.
I was wrong. So we went to Disneyland in Japan. We went
you
to
did?
Disneyland in Paris. We went to Disneyland in Shanghai.
Oh, wow.
So I am so done.
Oh,
And every single time, my arrangement with him was
Yes.
I will only go on 4 ride.
okay.
And he's probably like, oh, Mom,
Uh-huh.
but this is so cool. This is so great. So with your service,
Yes, of course.
they'd be super happy.
Comes with a ticket for the kid. Comes
Yeah.
with nanny, and same thing. Pick him up at 9 and drop him back, 4 or 5
and
or
then
whatever.
I can relax in the spa.
Yeah,
or just enjoy all the food.
yeah,
This is
exactly,
such a
exactly.
great idea.
A lot of parents, if you were to ask me, it's hard being in a marriage. First of all, you throw in a kid, it's even harder.
Thank you for being vulnerable and be open. And then the thing is, we don't talk. I think a lot of the time we don't speak the truth because we're afraid what people are gonna say or judgment, right? But the truth of the matter is, especially it's a lot of work. Marriage
of
hard.
work. Yeah.
Having kids is hard,
Yeah.
right? And then if you also women having your own business. Is almost a jungling everything at once.
Getting pregnant is hard. Let's not forget
and
about
that's
that.
another thing. That's another thing we are in common. We have a common interest. I love the fact that you're an IVF advocate. Tell us
huge.
about that. What's going on with that?
Yeah. So I'm a proud IVF mom. I had my baby the day after my 43rd birthday. So I'm a geriatric mom.
Yeah.
When my son's 2.5, I'm still changing diapers. Although I'm almost at the tail end of it. He's almost potty trained.
Almost there. Almost
Yeah.
there. Yay.
So I started my egg freezing journey. I started egg freezing at 38 and then tried for a baby at 41, defrosted my eggs with my partner's sperm. I had 21 eggs. At 38, I did 1 round. 41, I did another
you
round.
have more than me.
But
more
girl-
power for you because you actually froze your egg later than me.
I
But
froze
you have
it.
20.
So 21.
Wow.
But guess what, guys? 21 became 0. 21 eggs, you thaw them out with your partner's sperm, and that became 8 embryos.
Yeah.
8 embryos went to testing. 0 were normal. So I wasted all that time and all that money.
Thank you for sharing that, by the way, because a lot of time women think that,
Safety net.
say I can do this. I just save my egg, and I just egg freeze, and then I will guarantee have a kid. It's not true.
It's not true, guys.
Right?
It's not true.
Yes, you have more protection, but it's not 100% guarantee. And it's funny you bring this up because I just actually interviewed Lauren from she's a co-founder for Fertility.
I saw, yeah.
Yeah, and when I was talking to her, she was saying the same thing. She's like, wait, because she was asking me why I egg freeze. I was like, well, it's almost like buying a life insurance. It's like, except it's not guaranteed.
Yes.
Because even when you freeze your egg, which you just brought a great example, none of them work.
None of it worked. I was devastated, Evie. I was devastated. So I tell young couples all the time, to your readers and to your viewers, if you're in a relationship right now, at a young relationship, you both should get tested. to see if your soldiers swim, aka the sperm,
Yeah.
and then if your eggs are good. If they're not good, then you can introduce TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, and then you can also start doing acupuncture, which is what I did.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I did too.
You did? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went to UCSF at 38 to freeze my eggs. Then I went back to UCSF at 41 to defrost and say, okay, you know what? I'm ready to be a mom. 41, I found the partner. And then we made embryos, but none of them were normal. And you cannot transfer abnormal, right? If
Yeah.
you test it, right?
Right.
And we're old. We're 41. I just need to make sure I have a healthy embryo.
Yeah.
So then I had a horrible experience, UCSF, and then I found a Facebook ad on IVF here in Irvine.
Oh my gosh. So you
And so
came all the
I
way?
went, but here's what the difference I did was, and I tell this to a lot of older couples like me, I took a year off to focus, right? My goal was to get pregnant. I focused on my health. I focused on acupuncture weekly, and I found a clinic here in Southern California, and I paid $20,000 for 3 tries. Hello. In San Francisco, it'd been $45,000 for 1 try. And I was like, I'm Chinese. I want a deal. So I
Yeah.
got a deal. And it was a deal at that time, right? And now I think it's like $26,000.
Yeah.
And so I tell you this, all truth, honesty, 7 out of my 7 friends, and I was number 7, we all got pregnant. Wow, right? And this clinic is amazing. You can ask Evie or mention in the comments, and I'll tell you who this clinic is.
Definitely.
So anyway, what changed, right? What happened? What different from my first try to my second try? Meaning, first time, like when I did IVF at UCSF, it didn't work for me personally. Again, this is all my personal experience. I was pumped with a lot of hormones, right? High dose, because I'm older, right? We just want as many eggs as we can.
I did mine when I was 35, and then I have to say I have so much hormone that it really messed up my hormones.
See, that's another thing. And here in the clinic, I went to Southern California. It was low dose and focused on quality over quantity.
Yeah, because
right?
I was going to say when you told me how many you have, I was like, wow, that's impressive.
So
But,
here in Southern California, I only got like only 4 eggs. Right? We took that out. We used the sperm, and then we created an embryo, and we only from like 4 eggs, we only got 1 embryo. Still. And that's the embryo I gave birth to with my son. Now he's 2.5, almost 3 in August. So again,
he's a miracle.
He's a miracle.
Blessed. He was a gift.
Yes. Yeah. On lucky 88 Chinese calendar. But I would say, again, to your young viewers, if you're starting a relationship and you want kids, I don't think it hurts the relationship to be honest upfront and do a check, right? What if my partner
Listen to that.
Yeah.
So if you, I'm not a relationship expert, but when people say situationship now, because I don't know what that means, now I know. If you're in a situationship and if you're thinking about become a mom later on, this is something you really need to think about, right? Because it's not just like it doesn't mean when you egg freeze you would definitely make it work.
Yes, absolutely. You remember even in like high school, college?
Oh my god!
We're like,
I know what you're gonna say.
I don't want to get pregnant.
Yeah,
or maybe, oh my god, I'm pregnant. I get stay after pill. We all been there.
Oh my god! I was gonna say, it's so funny you bring this up because that's when you start talking about it. I already know this is how much we connected. I already know what you're gonna say, and you was gonna say, yeah, remember? And then my mom went back, be careful. Don't sleep around because you don't know if you get pregnant. And then you didn't realize I have a hard time getting pregnant anyway. So my joke to my girlfriend, and I would share with all my audience, is that I always say, God, if I know I can't be pregnant or it's hard for me to be pregnant, I would have had more fun. I totally missed out. I wasn't even like dating. I was like studying my butt off, and it was like, oh, I can't date. I don't have time. I need to focus on this. I can just have kids later. And what if I get pregnant? Like my mom said, my life is over.
Yeah, right.
And turned out that was not the case.
It was harder to get pregnant when you're later and older, right? I mean, now I'm like, oh my God, I do IVF. But like I said, if you guys are serious in your relationship, in your new relationship, or even new or old, down the line you want to have kids together, it doesn't hurt to ask. It's just one doctor RX, one doctor prescription. Check my sperm. How does my sperm even swim, right? For the men. And if it doesn't, guess what? There's a way, right? You take supplements. Yeah. You go to acupuncture. Or you might need a varicose surgery because your soldiers were blocked and they didn't swim. So those are the things that happen to us. happened to us, right? But guess what? As women, we blame ourselves. Oh my God, at 40, why can't I get pregnant? And getting pregnant is so hard. And the sex isn't even fun anymore. Just hurry up. Hurry the
it's
F
almost
up.
like it's a job.
Yeah.
It's almost like,
Yeah, but then you know what? In our 30s and 20s, we had so much fun, but now you're 40s, you're like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
But and as I'm saying, young couples get tested. It's just so easy. And your prescription, your doctor will write that, right? Just because, hey, if you're happy and normal and you're soldier swim, great. Because I blamed myself for so long, right? Then we get in depression. We're like, oh my God, you go to these baby showers and you go to everyone, all your cousins and all your younger friends are pregnant and I'm the old one here. I don't have any kids. And stupid friends would be like, just go have sex. Just go get drunk. If it was just that easy.
That would, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I hate
Or
it.
sometimes it would be like, hey, are you guys having kids? We think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So please, for everyone out there, do not ask an older couple, right, if they're going to have kids.
Yes.
Because guess what? You don't think they've been trying, you
Yeah.
know? So anyway, back to your original question, IVF advocate. I love talking about IVF all day, every day.
We're definitely going to have Beverly to write a blog on our website here at Family Planning to give advice. So we definitely wanted to know which clinic you go to in Southern California, what kind of treatment we should do, what kind of care we should do, because you just said you take a year off to focus on that, which is surprising to me because you are so busy. You're like a go getter. And Travel Nanny is like your third company. So for you to say, okay, I'm gonna stop all this. I'm just gonna focus on that. That's actually take a lot. That's smart.
It was my dream. Right? And it was my dream to become a mom, right? And I didn't make it happen until I was 43. But I've already sold 2 businesses before 43. I deserved a break. We work so hard. And in my cards, I never imagined I never thought that I would really quit everything, but I knew that I needed to stop and focus on me. I needed to do acupuncture. I needed to focus on my health, what I was eating and exercising.
Well,
and
you look great to me. So
you look great.
I don't know what you do, how you look before. I'm like, if that's what you do, how to focus on yourself, it was working, right? Because you have your baby, and then you look great.
So now, after all that, here I am again, back into the entrepreneurial world, and it's even harder when you're older. Oh man, right? Now I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a mom to a 2.5-year-old. I'm fundraising, for my startup. But I still enjoy it all, right? Hopefully I can travel the world with my son, and we'll make a difference in other people's lives. And really, that's a dream come true. Just as I'm living the dream job.
Yeah, and then I had to thank you for coming up with this company, the Travel Nanny, because for myself, I get the benefit of it, right? Because I travel all the time, and the cost of bringing somebody is expensive.
It's so expensive, So
the way having this company, and it sounds great. You save the cost. You actually get to enjoy your trip.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not only for married couples, single couples. How about single parents that are going to conventions, right?
Yes.
If you don't have a live-in nanny, you don't have mom and dad next to you that lives in the same city, you can't even leave the house.
Yeah, and then that's exactly what I did. So in the beginning, when my son was 2, like your son, the toddler stage, I would have conferences in China, or I have conferences in San Francisco, which is easier, right? But any conferences, I think that I have nobody, right? Because at least China, I have my brother, or Taiwan, I have my uncle. But if you go into a country that you don't know anyone, it's almost like I can't go.
Exactly.
But when in the state, it was difficult because when you get there, when you go to a conference, a lot of time you have to call the hotel few days earlier, and then they will try to find someone for you.
Yep. And so those hotels will be calling me.
Yeah.
We're developing partnerships with hotel partnerships in Japan. Hopefully again,
great.
And then Tokyo, Osaka. We're in quite a few cities in Japan, and then of course Japan, Taiwan's also another country. And then our goal is to scale worldwide, right? Travel Nanny worldwide. And so my goal is to be the Airbnb of nannies.
I like that.
So
the
you
Airbnb of nanny.
Yeah.
What's your website, or how does people contact you if they need your service, Travel Nanny?
We're launching our brand new website.
Okay.
We have an website right now. It's travelnanny.com. So TRAVEL nanny.com. And in 2 weeks, we are going to have a web app. Basically, you get to scroll profiles. I'm not sure if you ever did that online dating website.
Well, that's pretty much what our app is for.
Right. Yes, it is. Exactly. You're right.
Yeah.
You scroll, you get to your hotel or a couple days before, you scroll and you look at the reviews and you read their profile, you watch their video, and you say, I want to meet this nanny. You hit book, you pay the booking fee, $49.99, and then you can connect with a nanny right away, and you just message them. And basically, for me, that's what I did when I was in Taiwan last year. I never met this nanny. I went on my website. I'm a customer. Trust me, I'm a customer. And I found the nanny I wanted to connect with. We messaged, and she messaged me back. I said, great, show up the next day, at my hotel, and there she was. It was, I didn't even know what she, I knew what she looked like, but I didn't have any travel nanny uniform yet or anything like that, right? And she stayed with me for 8 hours.
Wow.
And my mom and I got to go shopping, and nanny and baby had the best time at the indoor playground. So that's what our mission is. So hopefully our phase 2, we will scale all, in Asia, right? Other countries. But right now we're focusing on Japan, Taiwan, and Hawaii. But
hey, that's good for me.
Yeah.
That's
really.
Like I said, I go there a lot in Asia. That just me. Yeah. That's awesome. And plus, sometimes you don't want to trouble your relative, right? Because they're like, what your mom going to say? Hey, that's your problem.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And everyone's just happier.
Yeah.
Married couples maybe will save some divorces, right? Because you're going on vacation. You're literally taking your kid from his comfort zone to another place, right? He's still going to be, needs the same needs, but if you're on vacation, this travel nanny can just help you do all the things that mom and dad don't want to do.
And then I think this is such a great company because you actually created to solve your own problem.
Yes.
And then I think that a lot of company I was looking at that actually make it work, the idea was great, is a lot of how to deal with their personal experience or solving a problem or solving somebody's problem. A lot of times it's your own problem.
Yes.
Right? So for me, the reason I have Herod is because I went to surrogacy and not to go through agency. But it's so expensive and you never get to meet the person, right? So with the travel nanny, you can do a meeting and you can look at the video, same thing as mine. You can meet with the donor surrogate and you can video chat, right?
Yeah.
Which I never get that chance before.
That is so cool. Yeah.
So what would you say, what would you done differently, or you actually wouldn't done any differently since now this is your third company? How you do? I guess this is two questions. Did you do anything different this time than the other two company?
Yes.
Okay.
Big question. My first two company, I bootstrapped myself. Really didn't need any money from anybody else, and I just made revenue by myself for 14 years. I was in the hospitality industry. In the rentals industry, so we had beautiful linens, napkins, chairs, rentals for hotels in the Bay Area. So hospitality, did that for 14 years, and then I sold it. And then I owned a luxury spa in San Francisco, built it from ground up, hired the world's best interior designer. They actually are on Architectural Magazine, so they built me the beautiful, very zen, Japanese-inspired spa. Love it, right? I can tell you already love it. Yes.
Yeah.
So I did those two, bootstrap myself, sold it. And then this time I had investors. We're raising with a safe $500,000, right? Just small round, right? This round, this is different. This is web, technology. This is tech enabled. It's my first time in tech, but not my first business.
Yeah.
So this is hard. It's hard, Evie. It's hard raising money.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. Especially, I don't want to say this, is as a woman, this data can back this up, so I'm not just saying this. It's much harder for women to raise money than a male.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that. Fortunately, my first few investors are friends and also one family member. But, when they need to see that this, is a scalable business, right? They need to see, they need to see, what have you done for the first year? So I am fundraising, and I'm talking to investors. We're in Japan. We have Japan investors that want to, talk to us as well. We also started Travel Nanny Asia Limited. So we also have a headquarters in Hong Kong.
Oh.
Yeah, because
Hong Kong's another great location, I would say.
For sure. There's about 326,000 people from Hong Kong that visits Japan every month. So because the Hong Kong families are traveling to Japan, we were like, you know what? Let's open an office in Hong Kong and focus on the Asian market there too.
Yeah.
Koreans are the number one. 750,000 people go to Japan every month. 750,000.
Wow.
Second country that goes to Japan the most is China. Third is Hong Kong, and fourth is the U.S., right? U.S. is about 12 hours flight.
Yeah, because it's harder.
It's far, right? But when we go, we stay there for at least 2 weeks.
True.
Hong Kong folks, they go about 3 to 4 times a year because it's like their playground. It's like their Vegas, right? Like you said, there's snow, there's good food, there's shopping.
Yeah.
So it's about a 3 to 4 hour flight, and they go often. And Evie, they live in nannies. So they understand the nanny concept, right?
Yeah.
If they travel, again, all this other cost. But if they leave the nanny at home and then they go to Japan, Travel Nanny is your translator, right? Is your local expert, is your nanny, right? From sometimes even your photographer. Because if you and your son go somewhere, you bring your nanny.
Take a picture,
because it's always selfie or it's always just you, your son.
Yeah.
But your travel nanny can be all of that for you, especially the translator part. I don't speak Japanese. I don't read Japanese.
Yeah.
But when you go to Japan, all the trains and it gets a little confusing.
Yeah.
Having a local expert is like everything. I mean, you're paying the price of, under $30 an hour for all those things, right? It's like, it's great. So we just started a Travel Nanny Asia Limited headquarters.
Okay.
So we'll be running ads in Hong Kong and running ads.
I'm so glad that you told me that now
US.
Hong Kong is the service there. So how are you doing anything different this time? I mean, besides the fact that in the last 2 you bootstrapping, this time is investor, which is you have to do the fundraising.
Yeah.
How are you now on the third company? You would think you should have done differently with the other 2. So it's like a reverse question now.
Oh, okay. What what
you learned from this one, which you thought, hey, I could have taken this on my first and second.
So these days, right, we have virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we didn't.
Right.
Right. I mean, back in the day, I was paying, US dollars for labor, right? Just for communications, like booking appointments or like my assistants, they were all in the US and they were great. If you're listening to this, love you guys. My assistants, love you, my assistants. But now we have virtual assistants.
Yeah.
That can be 24 hours.
Oh yeah. Pretty much all my friends, business owner, they have get rid of the ED. They all have the virtual now because it's way cheaper and a 24-hour because of the time differences.
Yeah, and I work Asia hours and US hours, so I sleep only 5 to 6 hours a day. Really, really little because my Japan start. My 3 o'clock is their 9 o'clock. So once they get up, they start messaging me. And then I don't go to bed till 2 because I'm talking to India. I'm talking to Hong Kong. I'm talking to Taiwan, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I wake up at 6 or 7 a.m. to do everything for my
son.
I
don't know how you have so much energy because you were partying with us in Montana. And you were dancing with us. We were taking shots. I mean, seriously,
so much fun.
I don't know how you do it.
Because my son wasn't with me. It was mom's night out. Are you kidding me? I mean, it was like, so much. Yeah. Oh, I love to party. I still party. So when I get a chance to go out, I go out, girl.
But I was just like, wow, you have so much energy. It was like impressive.
Yeah, and the matcha, right? Every day matcha.
The acupuncture really worked for you.
The acupuncture, I still do it.
See, that must be it. Okay, so go on.
Yeah. So the biggest lesson is definitely the virtual assistants, and having multiple of them help me out with my business, so I don't have to be so hands on. Right. I should be doing high level partnerships with hotels, high level, and just fundraising. Yeah. Right. As CEO president, that's my job. I'm the face of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of that too, right? Yeah. So, I mean, and then most importantly, be there for my son. Yeah. And take him to...
go out so fast, I'm telling you. So,
how old is Evan?
10.
Already?
Yeah, and then people were telling me, like, other girlfriend of mine who have children before me, they were saying it's the longest year, but it's the fastest year.
10.
Yeah, and then which is true because I still remember Evan when he was 2. We go to Taiwan in Asia, and I had to carry him, the suitcase, and you and I both are small, so I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
Yeah, you did it, man. I always had help. I bring my mom.
I don't know. No. So what happened is I actually make him walk by himself, and then I actually had people from the flight. They thought that I forgot there's a child. They were like, "Man, is this your son?" I was like, "Yeah, that's mine." Let's go. Keep going.
Really?
So then I have no
days he would
I don't
walk.
have any arm.
Wow. Oh, you're so lucky. He didn't want to hang on to you.
So he just holding his little blankie.
Oh,
People
so
probably
cute.
think I'm a horrible mom. And he kind of waffle walking. It's like your son, 2.5. They kind of walk, but they're not the best strong walker.
Yes.
So he's kind of follow me. I'm carrying 2 suitcases and a bag.
Yeah.
And then I was like, let's go. And then, I just had to every 3 steps turn around. Every 3 steps turn around.
Yeah.
So it was like that.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. I wish there's a travel nanny, so that would solve a lot
the
of
nanny
problems.
would meet you right there at the airport, pick everything up, and then help you.
Yeah.
And statistically show we did a research on this. 35-year-olds to let's just say 45, they're spending more money on travel than retirement. They want to live in the moment. They want to take that flight. They want to enjoy their life with their little one, and so they have more extra income to spend. And again, it's just what you pay for a babysitter in the U.S.
Die.
Yeah,
I mean, it can be any time.
Yeah.
I mean, look at so many people. I have so many people who are close to me have passed away last year and this year.
Oh
and
my gosh,
some of those people who passed away have no prior medical condition. It was just heart attack is when you gotta go.
Dang.
So
live
I totally get that.
every day like your last. Appreciate it. I hug Christian so tight. Tell him I love him so much and no regrets. Right. I want to give him the best life.
And then he's a miracle baby.
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah. My miracle baby for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to be. Let me just put this out there to the universe. I want to be that hot mom at kindergarten, dropping off my kid, and I'm hoping Travel Nanny will in 5 years we'll do really well for our investors. So we're still fundraising, and if you're out there and you're interested in more about Travel Nanny, talk to me about it. Happy to tell you all about the fundraisings that we're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I want to make my investors proud. I think this is a great concept that we're going to help so many people.
You solve a lot of problems. You solve the problem for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So the last question we always give it to every guest who come to our show is what piece of advice you would give to the younger self?
Wow, that's a great question. What advice would I give to my younger self? So I would say if you want to have an idea and you want to do a business, then do it. Right? Then do it. Do your research.
Yeah.
But if you doubt yourself, the reason why is that you don't have confidence in yourself. So if you have a business, you want to go after it, 100%. 100%. Drop your other side hustle and focus on this one hustle, right?
Yeah. It's just like you wanted to have a baby. That's what you wanted to do.
Yeah. So that would be my advice for my younger self, and for other young entrepreneurs out there, 100%. You can't have, I can't go work for, like a Pinterest, but then also at the side, I'm going to be my own CEO, right? You have, once you become your own CEO and you realize your 110% effort, then everything will start working out. So don't be afraid.
Love that.
Don't be afraid.
Thank you. That's such a beautiful advice. And then I think a lot of people are, they need to learn that. It's kind of like what people say, your energy go, you create what your energy go, right?
Yeah.
So if this is what you truly want, put your focus there, that's when you get the fruit, right?
Yeah.
So that's really good advice. And that's a really good business advice also.
Yeah,
Thank you.
really? Okay, I'm glad I helped somebody. I hope that does.
Well, I'm always going to help somebody. I mean, for me, I listen to podcasts and I'm doing this podcast because I wanted to inspire other women. Yeah. And, everybody on the show are women. Really? Entrepreneur, founder, just because I wanted to empower women just like how you started Travel Nanny, right? Yeah. So that's a really good advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Evie.
Yeah.
Thank you
and
so much
for having me. I'm so glad you're here. And we will definitely see each other more often.
Of course. Thank you.
Thanks,
everyone.